Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting matchup in our Crossworld Keysanity tournament. I am Jinxie Girl. I will be your host for today. Joining me is Dr. Bob Tastic and Liberal. I know I can never say it right. Before we get started, I would like to point out that I am so hyped up for this race. Both Goomba and Walter have PBs under 140. Goomba's is 138, and Walter just set a new PB of 134 just this afternoon. So I am looking forward to just a ridiculously good race coming in. So that's why I kind of switched over live and started us a little early so we could talk about just how amazing these guys are. And with further ado, I'm going to pass it on over to Dr. Bob.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Dr. Bob Tastic. This is the Cross Keys Tournament 2020 here on ZSR or ZSR2. And joining me for the commentary today is Blibble. Blibble, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Bob. It's nice to be here, and it's great to be commentating for my first time ever.
Well, there's always got to be a first time. Jumping in on the Cross Keys thing, I salute you on that one. But
oh yeah, I jumped in. First time ever tracking Cross Keys. First time ever commentating Cross Keys. So, it's all or nothing with me.
Yeah, wording is difficult, and maybe I'll be able to do it today. Once again, we've got Goomba versus Walther. Both runners are known for doing quite well in the Cross Keys department. And as you heard, there was that, both of them have sub 140 seeds at one point. Now, of course, you cannot guarantee that sort of time because no seed ever readily admits that sort of time. But there you go.
Oh yeah, well, they're both fantastic runners. I've watched both of them run in a bunch of different tournaments before, and this is going to be a fun race watching these two.
Just got to make sure Walther goes back into the old man's cave. Then we'll be good.
Yeah, you can't forget that.
I'm not. We were in a co-op tournament once on a Cross Keys seed. It's a thing. Anyway, it was fun.
Hard lesson learned.
I like to give Walther a hard time. Anyway, it's time to start. Okay. You remember how I said you never get a 140 seed on purpose? This might just be that.
My goodness.
Yeah, seeing the mirror first thing. I mean, the mirror is essentially the item in Cross Keys. I mean, other than maybe the Moon Pearl that you want to see the most. It's pretty important.
Oh yeah, this'll open up a lot of quick checks for him right away.
All right, we've got our curiosity shop over at the potion shop, and Walther's taking care of a few kills there to set up some tree poles. And Goomba, of course, is going to do the standard Houlihan strat to get 225 rupees right off the start.
Won't have any trouble Sanctuary, not too bad.
Yeah, won't have any trouble having, say, bottle vendor money, that sort of thing. That's why the Houlihan strat is fairly common in Cross Keys. But it looks like Walther's also going to do that Houlihan strat, just in a different way.
Oh yeah, getting that money early is always beneficial.
All right, Blacksmith sitting at the fortune teller. And free bombs. That's the name of that room. It may not be the actual name of that room, but that's the name of that room. It's called Free Bombs.
The bomb rats.
Early mirror does mean that there's a lot more opportunities for bunny shenanigans to occur. You could end up having to mirror out of the Dark World into several different areas just to get to where the Moon Pearl is. Has been known to happen.
Oh yeah, that'd be a little dirty.
It took me a bit to figure out why you would call it the powder house, and then I realized, yeah, bombs generally are made with powder.
Yeah, it's like the powder keg.
Powder. And there is Tower of Hera in the Lumberjack house.
And we got Desert over on Walther's side.
Speaking of Tower of Hera, the Bombos medallion available in the basement cage. So, and of course, a mirror, meaning you can just deal with it. Deal with the area, that is.
Moon Pearl!
Walther finds the pearl inside Desert, and that is gonna be a thing, is the technical term. We see that the Lumberjack Cave is in fact vanilla, but it was just a map on top of the item, so I don't expect anyone to go for that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be digging for maps in this one.
Library located at the Lost Woods, but of course, nothing important there either.
Hammer!
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is being almost too nice.
Why can't I get cross key seeds that look like this? Famous last words.
I'm banking on like something pedestal or something rotten.
Bonk Rock's location at the Kakariko Fortune Teller, just a small key to Skull Woods there, which you will want to find. It's nice to find one.
Oh, we got a big key on the hobo for Ice Palace.
Yeah, so probably not going to last location that Ice Palace big chest, as GFE was just suggesting there.
We're getting the curse of mentioning something.
And yet another vanilla drop down, this time the Kakariko Well. And there's Swamp. Was that in the capacity upgrade fairy? Got a glove in the well. So we've got hammer, glove, moon pearl, mirror. Is this really cross keys?
It's definitely cross keys because even vanilla isn't this nice.
How about picking up the mirror accessible entrance of Paradox Cave?
Buying some bombs for safety, always a good idea. Walther picking up his bombos.
All right. Additional chests in Paradox Cave.
We got a compass, we got a shield, red rupee, some bombs and red rupee. Okay, so we're not getting more progression yet. That's promising in my opinion.
So you didn't get any, useful items out of Paradox Cave, but you still got 2 different entrances you can check. One of which is also in Kakariko, so using that mirror accessible entrance, not really a big deal. That was the Saha fake out room. Otherwise known as Talkative Broccoli.
Talkative broccoli?
Yep. That's what's sitting in there.
Makes sense. Okay, I agree.
Alright, another connector for Goomba in our overgrown house, aka Hotel Mario.
Walther just got his small key for Skull Woods.
And we see Misery Mire. Interestingly enough, Walther went directly for that house, not checking the top area here. Okay, yeah, I can understand that now. All right, we've also found the bottom of Spiral Cave, which I know Goomba found earlier. And another connector over in Blind's Hut. So that's one more connector we haven't seen the other end of.
I can understand that they're not following them through yet, where they're just going through all the houses, seeing what they can get right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
While they're getting his mitts.
Am I supposed to say Hotel Mario? Is that what I'm supposed to say? All right. So Goomba is now headed through the brother's house. Finds the waterfall cave, interestingly enough. So that's one less place you'll have to check once you eventually find those flippers.
Or once they decide to start fake flippering, it's something that they can kind of skip out on.
And Turtle Rock Laser Eyes. Now, if you can access that entrance, you can access one chest in Turtle Rock. Period.
Definitely worth banking that information away for later.
Yeah, in fact, I expect Goomba to check these few entrances around here and then head back in and get that chest. Though I could be wrong. Big Key of Eastern. Interesting.
And small key to Ganon.
Wait, where was Ice Palace? I didn't see no Ice Palace.
Honestly, I missed it as well. We must have been both looking at the same
Hut.
stream at the wrong time. Oh, it was Chicken Hut. Okay.
Yeah, we are missing one tiny item to be able to do anything in Ice Palace. We would need either a fire rod or a sword. Goomba's going for the back of Escape with that glove.
We
Get
got a
the
big key
key
to...
of Hera.
Yes, not too bad.
So you might be tempted to go inside Hera there and check it out. Go further up. How difficult is tracking? Generally, like the worst.
Tracking is pretty fun. Cross keys tracking is definitely something else.
Yeah, most people I know use a map tracker of sorts to keep track of the entrances. I used to just use handwritten notes, but then I changed my idea.
We had a runner, I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, who just did it in his head. It didn't work out for him, but it was something that just blew my mind that he was willing to try to keep track of all those entrances himself in his own mind.
I mean, that's how I tried to do it the first time and learned, don't.
Rookie mistake right there.
Sometimes I'll try to do it on my own time for fun, but not in a race. All right, so Goomba is heading back into Tower of Hera. Ordinarily, you'd see a lot of runners try to go for that Hera pot clip, but without the hook shot, that's basically not happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible without the hook shot, is it?
There are other ways to get into that pot, but none of them are legal in the rule set.
Okay, yeah, so it's not going to happen. Lots of big keys again today. This is going to be interesting.
Looks like Walther got slightly bodied in Paradox Cave, but had picked up a fairy in a bottle. So, able to deal with that pretty easily.
Steve, I have to admit that watching Cross Keys, watching Keysanity is fun. The thought of actually running it myself is terrifying.
It's fun, you should do it. That being said, Walther took a slightly different entrance out of Paradox Cave and has found the top of Hyrule Castle, which led him to Ganon's Tower, containing two of the most important keys in the game. On the right-hand side, the small key to Swamp and the big key of Ganon's Tower.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Having a little bit of trouble lining up that bomb jump. Oh, and he just quit. Done with Ganon's Tower for today.
Yeah, I was holding the wrong button there. On that one, he was 1 pixel too far to the right on that bomb jump. You have to be right up flush with the edge there, and it's not as easy to line up without a sword.
And I find sometimes using the different sprites might also make lining it up a little bit trickier. You got to kind of get used to the individual sprites.
Yeah, a lot of runners that like to use different sprites will learn things based on the shadow placement so that you can use many more different sprites. That being said, these two sprites, I've seen these two runners use these sprites often, so they should be well familiar with them. Alright, Agina's Cave turning out to be straight Garbo today. Walther with the hardest trick in the game, remembering you have the mirror when you're in Sanctuary.
They're just not used to having it this early and having it this easy.
Finding the wrong end of Ice Rod Cave there in Sahasrala's closet entrance. And it looks like Walther's going to go for Dark World here.
I mean, with the hammer, with all the things that they have, going for a little bit of Dark World isn't a bad idea.
Going to get some Skull Woods action, I think. You did get that one key, so... And turns out the front is vanilla today, so we can get plenty of chests checked over here.
Small key to Aga Tower.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so generally that one key is basically all we'll want to see today. And Goomba has located the other end of one of the connectors we saw in Kakariko Village. That was in the cave near Flute 5.
In the Blessed Skullwood small key, in the one chest you can guarantee you will find that small key.
Yep. Thankfully, for the Cross Keys runners, the advanced logic from V31 has not infected this particular logic yet.
Yet.
So Walther is employing some interesting strats in that room with the statue. The idea is if you never kill anything in that room, the Wallmaster never spawns. So you'll never get grabbed. Also, we found the remaining small Skullwoods in there. So now we have all the Skullwood small keys. So if we find the Fire Rod and a sword, that actually puts Mothula in logic. Not like completely in logic. Not just you can reach it. And we have a book on top of Bumper Cave and a death from a Murderdactyl, which is kind of what tends to happen when you see Murderdactyls. Goomba, on the other hand, has located Spiral Cave, taking a slight death inside because these mini Moldorms are just straight up unpredictable. But he is using that fairy as well. And a Meyer small key as well.
We're getting a pretty good spread of keys so far. Things are opening up a lot.
Alright, so Goomba is now going to be taking the other end of Paradox Cave. That's going to take him to the top of Hyrule Castle, which will lead him to Ganon's Tower. See if he decides to go on a spree in on the left side, deciding to bomb jump or not.
Just finding the fortune teller on Walther's side.
Alright, so Goomba acquires the Swamp Small Key and the GT Big Key as well. And going to see the Big Key on the torch as well. We'll see if he decides to go left. Looks like he's doing it. Do love me a good sequence break.
Now let's see if he can get this bomb jump.
Alright, that appears to be correct.
Yeah, got it.
But the second one also needs to be done correctly. There's a little bit of leeway on that one, but you're good there. Well done. And Stolfo's room is
not a
garbage.
thing.
And that'll do it for that. It is significantly more difficult to bomb jump all the way down to the fire bar room and onwards. So I certainly don't blame anybody. And it looks like Goomba is finally going to check Desert, which will get him that Moon Pearl. Meanwhile,
And Palace of
Walther,
Darkness.
Exactly. Walther has located Pod. No keys as of yet. So it's really just this one chest, unless he wants to mimic clip or use a potion, which he doesn't have.
Yeah, that was enough for him. Stumpy with a full heart today.
And we get to see what's in Cave 45. Nope.
Nothing useful, just a fairy.
Just a big old bucket of nope. Speaking of fairy, we've got the Pyramid Fairy.
This one, much more useful.
Yep. Containing a Turtle Rock small key and a Hera map. And we've got Sahasrara. I can't imagine Walther hasn't done this. Maybe not.
No, it doesn't look like he's got the second shield yet.
Well, maybe he didn't pick up the first one. I don't know. No, he did. Yeah, you're right. Anyways, we're going to see the race game now. Oh, hello.
We got our first bow.
There's a bow.
There is a bow, I know. And to the dig game. How many digs?
Looks like
And
5.
we got our first sword.
5 for
Not
a
bad
sword.
at all.
Yeah.
And grabbing a couple extra rupees.
So there's Ice Palace complete access right there. Which is slightly gross.
How long will they hold off on going into Ice Palace? That's the real question.
Oh, I imagine a while. I imagine, for one, I imagine Walther's probably going to go check the right side of Pod pretty soon with that bow. Going to put bombos to good use here as well.
Oh yeah, don't bother fighting the pokies.
You may notice a slightly unexpected effect there. It also killed the bunny beam.
Oh, that is interesting.
And the fairy in the waterfall, or in the fairy there, just handing out fairies as well. So I'm on board with that plan. And
Goomba about to get his first bow.
and a green rupee of occasional glory sitting there in that one chest in Turtle Rock, so not a humongous deal.
Now, Walther earlier stuck around and collected a couple extra rupees from the dig game, so I'm thinking he might be planning to route up to Zora soon.
Ooh, there is that possibility. Goomba picks up the sword as well. So we'll see where Goomba decides to head next. Walther went for that chest in Turtle Rock. Goomba also appears to be going for something along those lines. And Walther does appear to be foregoing Palace of Darkness for the moment, which makes some sense because you expect to find some keys for Palace of Darkness before it becomes relevant. But sometimes there's just stuff in the front.
Yeah, but going for what he knows he has access to is a little bit more tempting, I think.
But also making good use of the Bombos medallion. See, Bombos isn't just for scrubs. There are good players that use the Bombos medallion when it's useful. And Walther, checking Sick Kid, gets a key to GT.
Maybe hinting towards something once they start getting a fire source.
Yeah, the fire source could be important for GT access going upstairs. Meanwhile, Walther has located the laser bridge of Turtle Rock. And just nails the laser skips, gets a vanilla-ish big key, or small key. And
a small key to desert.
A small key to dessert? What?
The echo of your voice threw me off.
Yeah. Words are hard. And I'm not speaking you intentionally.
Oh goodness, no. I think we're best suited for each other in this sense.
All right. Walther has found my favorite cross keys location. not close. Because extra bombs are always good in cross keys. Unless you're like in go mode.
Yeah, having a nice stockpile is always good when you don't know what you're going to need next.
Game. What are you doing? Why are you putting Thieves Town at the Thieves Town entrance? Why are you doing this?
Is this even rando?
No, I'm pretty sure it's odd rando. It's very odd. Anyway. Alright, another Turtle Rock small key for Walther. That's, a non-trivial number of those. Just a piece of heart, so Walther gonna peace out like you do. And Goomba looked like he was about to go climbing for the checks on the pyramid, mirroring on top, but he still can't actually access the one entrance he hasn't seen yet. All right, Walther going back for Murderdactyl Revenge and getting bodied a second time. But that fairy from the fairy is coming back. It's not really the Murderdactyl that's doing it. It's the spears from the Moblins. They're getting in the way.
There we go.
All right. And the first Palace of Darkness small key has been located. 35 minutes in. Speaking of 35 minutes in, welcome to Hype Cave on Goomba's side.
Extra bottle in Hype Cave.
Not much required, but very much appreciated. All right, we've got Dark Lumberjack Shop is Garbo. Walther's going to mirror to Hera, though that is one little piece of trivia. Turns out the Dark World shop is an entire full tile higher than the Lumberjack one in the Light World, so you do have to go down a little further, or you are going to mirror bonk. B's out of 10, I agree. Oh, the pod big key was there. I did not even notice that. Goomba has located the potion shop at what I assume was the pod entrance.
And Walther going to kill his Moldorm.
Chugging a potion there, because one heart is not a great way to kill Moldorm.
No, a little too unpredictable for that.
And then, of course, he takes no damage afterwards. That's just how it works. That's why you take the potion, is so you'll take no damage afterwards. Now, we did get the green pendant
That's
there.
rando for you.
I believe Goomba actually had the green pendant when he found Sahasrara, so we know what that is. I just can't remember what it was. And that explains why Goomba has so much more money than Walther.
Yeah, he's got a good savings account going, that's for sure.
Alright, one of the more obscure entrances in the game for Walther, the what some refer to as the Curiosity Shop, just a little bit of a money farm. And we'll get to see Goomba's laser skips.
Oh, taking the death.
I think he's got the fairy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got the fairy to save him.
Now, Walther has located Mini Moldorm Cave, which appeared to be at the Dark Sanctuary. Got a
Small key to
small
Misery
key.
Mire.
And a lamp. Lamp is the real prize
got a
there, I
fire-
would say.
Got a Firesaurus, that's not too bad.
Definitely on board with the fire source situation.
Quick graveyard ledge check.
Alright, it contains the same number of items that Graveyard Ledge normally would, but is a entirely different location. Also uses the same number of bombs, but doesn't give you 4 bombs back like the original Graveyard Ledge would. Instead,
And
just
just
20
a
rupees.
big red. I love Lamp too.
Are you just looking at things and saying you love them? Anyway. Alright, Walther back into the Dark World as Goomba continues to explore the Village of Outcasts. Doesn't bother buying bomb upgrades. And Walther is back into Pod. Checking the right-hand side.
Just 10 arrows. And more bombs.
Alright, so nothing huge in this area, but the hammer gives you access to quite a bit more. Interestingly enough, looks like Walther is going to go for the boss here.
That's a big play.
It is interesting. There are a lot of items in the back that you could reach with that small key as well. But I mean, either way, you can come back in and check the first couple of items in the front, that being the Stolfos basement and the bridge chest. And you'll have to go down the right-hand side twice either way, so don't mind that.
I think he's banking on that he's going to get a crystal out of this.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Because the other two checks later on, if he needs to come back and check those other chests, it's probably going to be faster for him to do later than coming back for the boss.
Yeah, you really do expect there to be some, greater amount of keys, and, the earlier you can get the boss done, usually the better things are.
I mean, it never really feels better. Everybody in a rando always feels like they're an hour behind. Flippers, that paid off.
But it's not a crystal.
Is this going to be a pet seed?
Maybe? I mean, now for the ped to be in logic, you would have had to have found literally all 6 pod small keys.
Oh, that's true.
And with as few small keys to pod as we found, I wouldn't particularly bet on it.
There's his big 300. And there is the other shield.
Walther expressing his disapproval of Sahasrah's closet with some explosives.
Just leaving him a little present on the way out the door.
Alright, so Walther is now headed over to Dark Shopping Mall, which is going to be at the moment, massively out of logic play.
Yeah, logic is to the wind.
Yeah, I don't mind doing out of logic plays. I just want to keep in mind when they are and aren't out of logic. Small key in Spectacle Rock Cave there. But that was, of course, just the observation deck, not the business entrance. And there's actual Hotel Mario.
Much better this time.
I believe we've seen Goomba check the Light World Shopping Mall area here. Yeah. Goomba actually has definitely done this area. Looks like Walther is going to peace out on the Spiral Cave for now. Which I kind of agree with. Yeah, heading to rescue the old man here is a pretty solid play. Meanwhile, Goomba's doing some, or attempting to do some Ancilla fake flippers there to reach the East Dark World. Now he's instead going to do some kern jumping.
And he got it! Oh,
and he's going to head over to dark shopping mall as well. This requires some finesse, but he did get there.
We got a Master Sword. Thank you, nice old man with the pointy thing. I very much appreciate the jokes.
All right. So, Walther heading into the basement of Hyrule Castle. Certainly nothing wrong with that.
Just a couple of bombs. Goomba on his way to get his second pointy as well.
Now, Goomba, on the other hand, he's going to go for the Dark Cross chest first. I expect both of these runners to go for, both of these chest areas in some order. And then afterwards, probably check the remaining entrances. Although, the fact that the method to get up to Death Mountain was so arduous might lead you to check the other Death Mountain entrances first.
Yeah, this is the only sensible logic point, access point at this stage.
Yeah, and Walther is going to peace out for a second. Shoutouts to Evil Rupee Count.
Oh, look at that. Is this an ominous omen for the seed?
I mean, they do say that money is the root of all evil, so just going there. Just saying. So if money was the root of all evil, you'd really only have like 25.8. And DH Stom coming at me with the technicalities. If we want to be all super technical, it's love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. But I'm not gonna go there. Except I did. Dang it! Alright, right side of Hyrule Castle has been found at the Spectacle Rock entrance.
Let's see what's in C House. Nothing.
Alright, so another connector over there at the Death Mountain Descent Cave as well. Looks like Walther's going to go for that. He's not checking Tarot of Hera entrance here. I don't know if he got that key or not. Oh, hello! Connector to Bumper Cave for that book. And
the
of course,
book we got.
Oh, and the world's most elusive entrance leading to the dam.
And we got the Misery Mire key. Not bad at all.
Yeah, the the main thing preventing us from dealing with Meyer right now is being able to get into it. I mean, also the cane for the boss, but we don't have access via either the boots or the hookshot.
Yeah, that's still out in the wind. Trying to think now where it would be.
Alright, so Walther's going to go ahead and grab that small key. I imagine this will be a check on the Tower of Hera entrance. It's another pod key. Not bad. So Walther
We
no
are
longer has to
building.
worry. And he gets the ether. Oh,
The flute!
wow. Wow, that is a solid pickup there for Walther. I imagine Goomba will probably pick that up soon after he ends up checking that connector, but he may end up doing like the Dark World entrances here first.
Yeah, it's looking like he is.
All right, so Goomba has a choice. Oh, he hasn't even checked this entrance. Interesting. Goomba has a choice. He can go for that Spectacle Rock cave. I mean, not Spectacle Rock. Super Bunny cave. Or he can go for some of these other entrances. Who knows where they'll lead you? But if he doesn't go through that Elder House, he's going to be missing out on the book for a while. Oh, but he is going to find the business entrance of Spectacle Rock Cave.
We'll see what that key is now. And Walther, quick on his tail.
Lol. The Hyrule Castle
There's
small
the sewers.
So we know there's got to be some other connector to get up here. Because otherwise that couldn't be a pod key. My guess is there's a connector to Floating Island that you can mirror from.
Goomba following the connector.
Yeah, we did see one other connector, but it was a one-way connector in the other direction. It was Super Bunny Cave.
Turtle Rock.
Ah. So that's our connector. Because, as we see, the other end is here at the Dark Cave near 5. So that puts all this in logic.
I also did not catch the medallion for T-Rock.
I didn't either, but I mean, we're not going to want to go into that entrance.
Oh, okay, it was Quake?
Yeah.
Yeah, Quake.
There's the back of Desert at the actual normal entrance to Super Bunny Cave. Goomba is doing Spike Cave right now. For a whole
Not a
lot of
payoff.
Garbo.
And Ice Rock Cave not paying out either.
I mean, if I say cave near Flute 5, that would be like actually very descriptive. I just omitted the word flute because I can't words right now.
It's still doing better than I am.
An Ice Palace small key on the right side of Desert. Now, Walther is going to get this flute activated. I don't know whose audio is being used. All right. Well, since that's happened already, I will just sing it afterwards. Well, sometimes in this game, you want to fly away, so you can make your way around the seed. Well, the duck has your back, with a wing and a quack. You'll be taken aback by all his speed.
That was beautiful. Pure poetry. Thank you.
All right, so Walther heading up to Zora now.
Just bombs on the ledge.
So I wonder what Goomba does with his one pod key. Oh, well, he actually had 2 pod keys. He used one on the front door. So he's gonna raid out some of the back instead of going to the boss, it looks like.
Walther is not skimping out on using that flute now that he has it.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see at least one pod key back here. Oh, how about a Titan's Mitts?
We got the mittens.
So now Goomba has the mitts and Walther has the flute. Between the two of them, they could access the mire area. Ooh.
And we got that
Waterfall
Cheeto
Fairy
sword.
found for Walther, where you can pick up bees and also a tempered sword. That was at the Desert Palace main entrance, which you used the book to get to. Oh, Goomba actually looked like he was a little far right on that hammer jump, which meant he was unable to actually clip through the bottom rail.
Walther getting his ice small key.
Go. Mushroom in the pod big chest.
I'm okay with fetch quest.
All right, so Goomba finishes off Palace of Darkness, or at least what he can. Looks like we'll be checking Stumpsman. No, we already did that. I'm having a brain. Oh, right, he's got the Titansmith, so we're doing good old Blacksmith. If I recall correctly, the Blacksmith was at the Fortune Teller at Lake Hylia.
Yes, it was actually. And doing hammer pegs along the way.
Walther appears to be headed for Bombo's tablet. Yet another pod key.
Small.
The flippers were in fact on Helmasaur King, which Walther decided to do out of logic, and you definitely need the 7 crystals to beat Ganon. Unlike normal, you don't actually have to beat Ganon's tower in this, as it is a quote fast Ganon goal.
Oh, that would be rotten. I like it. Well, as we're getting some more keys for a pod so far, I would not be disappointed to see this become a ped.
Was I talking for like 20 minutes and nobody heard me?
Yes, you were talking for a short while. I thought you were just taking a little breather.
Yeah, well, I heard nothing from you, so I was just like, So I pulled out of the chat room there.
Oh, I hope I was being heard then.
I mean, you must have been, because it was fixed when I came back in.
Okay, well, that's good.
All right, now you just messed with me.
You're joking, right?
So, Ice Palace for Walther. Just a piece of heart in the first chest. We've been kind of expecting the Ice Palace play from both of these runners for a little while now. Goomba, however, looks like he's going to head for the Super Bunny Cave here. Yeah, the long way around is right. No icebreaker today, so it's time to remember, how do you do the Ice Palace bomb jump? Though I guess with a small key and a big key, it's not strictly necessary.
Yeah, he should be okay with it. He's only botched one bomb jump so far.
Okay, are you guys messing with us again?
Oh, thank God. Okay. Thank you for fessing up.
It's like the first one I saw is messing with us. But if it actually gets to be a thing, like we really want to know because we got to fix it.
It's okay. We can just talk amongst ourselves, check and commentate themselves. It's cool. We're all adults, right?
I mean, for some value of the word adult, yeah. I mean, no one would listen to me talking and say and immediately assume that.
We got the red meringue over on Walther's side.
And our spike chest is just big 20, so we're still waiting on 4 items here in Ice Palace. Walther going down to the big ice room. Home of the vanilla ice tile. If you read that tile up top and you're not playing with hints on, you get the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby. Heading over to the Law and Order Special Victims Unit room.
And another bottle in iced tea.
You're not wrong. All right. Bombosing some Freezors for a chest. What do we have? Cane of Samaria.
We got Samaria.
Well, that's why you go into Ice Palace without the Samaria, because sometimes you just get it. And Vanilla Blue Mail.
The dream of that fetch quest chain to Samaria is dead.
Now, one thing I like about having the flippers be so far out of logic is it means that you're kind of unlikely to want to go into swamp. You know what I mean? You won't have to potentially do left side swamp and all that garbage. You know, it makes it a less profitable play, I would think.
Alright, let's see those fluffy eyeballs. Get it. Making quick work of that fight. And we have our first Crystal of the Seed from Ice Palace. Have we lost Dr. Bob?
No, I am here. I just haven't said anything for a bit.
It scared me for a moment.
Woo! I'm spooky.
Very spooky.
Right, Walther's heading to Pod, which I recall being something important. I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah, don't leave me unattended. I will make a mockery of the speed gaming community.
Yeah. Especially since we're not even on the Speed Gaming Network. Alright, Goomba with Master Sword against Cold Stare. Slightly less fun. Let's put it that way. Yeah, the mitts are definitely in Pod. That is correct. I was mostly thinking about the actual Pod entrance, though, which is where Walther was heading. But yeah, Potion Shop turns out to be here.
He abandoned his bees.
Yeah, I don't fault anyone for abandoning bees. I mean, unless it's Tear. Tear's not allowed to abandon bees.
The bees are a valuable resource, and you can't change my mind.
So the slow runs thing, someone talks about doing slow runs instead of speed runs. The thing is, there are a few games in which that concept actually makes sense. Like trying to put together the longest possible run of a game. Because like the games have a timer to them, and you have to time exactly finishing at certain times.
Just dropping some bombs.
Yeah, Walther's like, you know what? This hype cave isn't all it's cracked up to be. Now, one thing Walther will be able to do is he will be able to check the entrance to the normal entrance to Agate Tower here in a second if he gets there. Goomba, on the other hand, is going to take that. He probably did exactly what I just said. Because he's in GT, and that's right next door to that.
Waiting through tall room, just throwing boomerangs.
Yep. He's got the cape, and he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. We're going to do this, we're going to act like we're actually playing a game here. Yet another pod key. Which I guess, gets those flippers closer to in logic.
Here we go, checking that entry. And it's nothing worth seeing.
I bet our runners would like to see those boots sometime pretty soon, too. That big key sitting on the torch is kind of taunting me at this point.
Oh, and you know they haven't forgotten about that.
Interestingly enough, Goomba now heading back into Turtle Rock. And it looks like he's going to head to the front with the excess of keys he has. Walther's just going to get that that pod key here in Tile Room. Now, it is theoretically possible for Walther to do the right-hand side here without a fire rod. I do not recommend it, especially without the boots.
It is a messy, messy thing to do.
It is possible without the boots, but you have to be basically perfect.
These guys are good, but I wouldn't expect them to go through the trouble.
Goomba finding
He's going up.
Oh yeah. Fire source, 3 small keys and a big key. That puts 3 of the 4 things up here in logic anyway. So Walther has now found his 4th pod key, which might sort of lead him back that direction. But
he needs to get those mitts.
Yeah, the Titan's mitts are kind of blocking off a huge chunk of entrances there in the Misery Mire area. Some of which I imagine connect to, say, like Dark East Death Mountain and that sort of thing.
Oh, taking a fall.
Goomba is going for the Crystal Roller Room chest here. This is a chest that a lot of people don't realize is in logic without the big key, but it totally is if you come in from the back. Interestingly enough, if you want to do this room in the dark that Goomba's in, and you're coming from Laser Bridge, it is actually free. If you can drop the platform roughly on the question mark, you just get on the platform and you hold up.
And that's our second boomerang.
Can we say okay boomerang? Is that a thing? Yeah, I'm bad. All right, Landmo for Walther coming in with the slight delay and the triple spin for a pretty quick kill with no fire rod and no silvers. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was solid.
And now to my favorite rooms in the climb. The Wizrobe rooms. All right, 1 cycle Wizrobe room number 2. Pretty good.
Couple of smacks on the bridge there.
Yeah, with no boots, you can't really control that, unfortunately. Yeah, Ganon's Tower definitely does not live up to, like, OSHA standards. Get out of my head.
Not a single elevator in this game. Accessibility is nothing.
See, that's why Sick Kid can't go anywhere. Because nothing's accessible. Turtle Rock, small key, and a map. A pod for Walther.
That's the only timeline, is lawsuits for Ganon.
Cross keys, for those of you who are unaware, this is the... so you basically take the original game. Not only do you randomize all the items, but you also randomize all the keys throughout the entire game instead of just in their own dungeons. Also, you randomize all the entrances, and they can, an entrance can take you from one world to another if you go through its tunnel. That's where the Crossworld comes from. The bot is a little bit dysfunctional today. I hope that answers your question there. Alright, Walther taking care of Mimic Cave. I mean, if you want random items without all the key craziness, there's plenty of stuff going on with that. Like the Mentor tournament is going on right now. They don't do Keysanity there. Lots of fun stuff there. Goomba finally going to get that book. And find the dam. Which also has the big key of Mire in it. So big stuff all around.
Checking out Catfish now. And just a blue rupee.
Alright, so both Walther and Goomba heading to roughly the same location. May not be headed in the same ultimate may not have the same ultimate destination in mind. Yeah, Walther looks like he's going back to Pod.
Oh, that is good for him.
Meanwhile, Goomba probably heading to Bombo's tablet as he just picked up the book. Yeah, GT did have its own big key in this particular one, but it doesn't always. The one I commentated yesterday had a big key. We could have done a big key guessing game right from the start because it was literally the 7th chest they opened in the entire game.
Yeah, Ganon big key guessing game for cross keys would be how many chests are in the entire game?
216.
You actually know that?
Yep. Well, it's because, one, it's at the end of the credits, if you look at the count, and 2, it's 6 cubed.
Oh,
Otherwise,
interesting.
6 times 6 times 6, and if you need any more proof that Zelda is evil, or that that Rando is evil.
And Walther got his mitts now.
Yeah, it'd be 1 and 211 are the possible locations for the big key of GT. But then someone would have to actually keep track of how many chests each player has checked, or one player has checked throughout the race. And that is just a little bit of overkill. Especially since there are entire seeds where you might go without getting the Ganon's Tower big key. Yeah, the items that are just lying around, they count as chests as well. There are 216 different item locations.
We haven't seen a map check yet, have we?
Not really. But yeah, all the pendants are known at this point. So
between the two of them, but not both of them know yet.
Yeah, I guess so. Though Goomba's about to know. Alright, Walther is going to check the Ice Palace entrance. And there's the big bomb shop, which requires Skull Woods and Turtle Rock.
Nice bit of knowledge if they're going to need that entrance.
And Walther is going to go ahead and dive Swamp, which at this point, it's probably a play. I mean, somewhere the other pod keys are going to be lying around at this point. So we are still going to need to find both the fire and ice rods to deal with Trinex. We need to actually locate Eastern Palace, which we haven't done. So at this point, we have to assume Mire area.
Has Back of Skull Woods been identified?
Yeah, it was the front entrance of Turtle Rock.
Oh, okay, yes.
The flute was on Ether Tablet, so Goomba's going to have to get back up to Death Mountain if he wants to check that.
Yeah, Walther made that a pretty quick check as soon as he got access to that book.
Yeah, we also do not know where the Back of Skull Woods is. Oh, that's what you meant. You don't know where the woods is. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking where is, like, what entrance is at the Back of Skull Woods. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah. It's okay.
We have no idea
to Keysanity. Not Keysanity, Cross Keys.
Yeah,
welcome to Cross Keys.
The Turtle Rock front was at the Back of Skull Woods. The Back of Skull Woods, we have no idea where that is. Now we're on the same page, I think.
We're both equally confused, my darling.
Everything is fine. I mean, I think both of these runners are pretty close.
And there's our butter sword in swamp.
Yeah, Walther is traversing swamp without the hook shot, which is never fun.
It's a nice leisurely stroll through the swamp.
Goomba literally just burned the witch. Okay. And it wasn't on purpose. It was because he was spamming the mushroom, and the very next item that he had in his inventory after the mushroom disappeared was bombos. So he just mushroomed straight into bombos. Walther has avoided burning the witch.
Much nicer to the old witch.
And we're headed for Mire area. Alright, Mire Shed is Mire Shed. Fair enough.
We got a good few vanillas in here today.
That is the last key for Ganon's Tower, I think. Or maybe we got one more. Yeah, probably one more. Ooh, Blind's Hut as well. Wonderful, wonderful 5-item location. This is the last one.
Here's the boots.
Woohoo! So the boots, of course, grant us access to another 4 entrances that we haven't seen yet.
And a big key to
apparently-
Thieves Town.
Yep, the Thieves Town big key, not something that you really want to see that much because we know it's a pendant, but Walther doesn't know that, so he's going to be... Okay, now he does.
There we go. There's our knowledge.
And we have Aga Tower, so Walther did find one small key to Aga Tower at some point, so that is going to give him access to both chests in this tower, and that is all you'll ever want to do in here.
Yeah, you don't want to keep going in Agus Tower.
And yet another pod key, that's 5 for Walther.
5 out of 6.
So, if I'm Walther... So, first of all, I'm expecting Eastern over here, or back of Skull Woods, at some point.
Big key to swamp.
Big key. Get out. Get out, game. But another thing I'm looking at, if I'm Walther, is the fact that Misery Mire is now full clearable.
And here is Skull Woods.
So yeah, Walther is actually in a pretty good position right now. He can continue finding these dungeons and dealing with them. I believe of the two runners, Goomba is probably the higher seed in the tournament. But still, the variable nature of cross keys is certainly something that can turn the tide either direction.
Well, that early flute find for Walther is definitely a benefit to him.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Goomba's heading into Swamp now. He is also going to be checking all of Swamp, including left side, without the hook shot. So that's gonna be another chunk of time that Walther gets back.
And blink and you miss it. That was quite a quick Mothula fight.
Ooh, yeah, what big key is on that GT torch? Probably Desert or Turtle Rock. Ooh, there's Eastern Palace at the other Bonk Rock. So, in a way, Eastern Palace was behind the Eastern Palace and the other location were behind the Skullwoods were behind Misery Mire. Or the Mire area, because the boots were in the Mire area, of course. So the flute was on Ether Tablet for those of you just tuning in, and Goomba got the book, but decided to peace out after finding the dam nearby, instead of what Walther did, which was go back through the cave that connected to the book and directly up the mountain to check Ether Tablet. But he was also going to check some other things up the mountain, which kind of makes sense at the time.
Yeah, Walther went through and grabbed that book pretty quick. It was one of his earliest checks on the mountain.
I'm pretty sure that the AGA requirement is not a thing. Because the tree is not a thing. It's just
it's a map, I believe.
And the only other way that could be a thing is if you somehow needed it to get to the pyramid, but that wouldn't be the case either. Otherwise, by that I mean to get to the pyramid with like the big bomb.
Cane of Burna, found in Mire. Oh,
Eastern?
Eastern, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
So the 8 and 26, 8 refers to the seed within the tournament bracket that Goomba was, and Walther was seed 26.
Quick work of the Armos.
And Walther acquires yet another crystal. Still got to find that hook shot. But I would not be surprised if it was sitting in Misery Mire by the almighty principle of self-locking items. Uh-oh. It's meme time. Oh, it's not meme time. Maybe it is. Okay, it's not. And Walther's going to Mire.
Yes, the other Green Palace.
And as we kind of expect, he's going to go ahead and open this door first and head back out. This is kind of the way you want to route Misery Mire when you have a small key of some kind. Goomba finding out the contents or the mushroom turn-in is just a big 20.
Big key to Turtle Rock in Mire.
Ooh, pretty important there. I would kind of expect Walther to maybe try to go get that big key on the torch in GT soon, just in case it's the desert one.
I do believe... Oh, wait, no. Skull Woods still is unknown.
Yeah, we don't... That is the 50-50 shot there. All right, Goomba is now finally heading for Ether Tablet, which I believe this is probably the last possible place he can check. And he's going to get that flute.
And now he's gonna go kiss the old man.
Oh yes, both runners, I believe, have checked Bombo's tablet. Walther now heading for the big chest of Misery Mire. This is a scenario that I don't actually like to do, having to dash around, but Walther gets there with no trouble. Goomba finally activating that flute.
And the map to Misery Mire inside Misery Mire.
Like you do. Oh, Walther was about to go to the boss thinking he was going to hook shot across to this chest. And then he's like, wait a minute, I don't have the hook shot.
Time to take the scenic route.
For a second there, I thought he was just trying to be cool and try to hover the gap. But, no. All right, so
Goomba
will be
clearing
picking
out
up the
Mire
boots
Shed.
soon. Yeah, he's gonna get the boots soon in the right side. The entrance I like to call Lower Norfair. Because combo rando is a thing. I don't believe Hookshot Cave has been located.
No, it has not. Nobody's seen it.
My guess would be at one of the remaining Bonk Rocks locations. Yeah, well, I mean, it'll be one of the Bonk Rocks locations, and then the other end will be one of the Turtle Rock Dark Bridge locations, which we haven't seen yet.
And another crystal for Walther.
All right, Walther going to Bonk Rocks. Goomba also going to some Bonk Rocks, and
There
there's
is
our
Hookshot Cave.
Like you do.
And he throws a pot of rage.
Yeah, accidentally threw the pot, trying to bonk off it instead. Okay, that is the last key to GT. And interestingly enough, with the boots, you know the map room, the firebar room, that is actually completely in logic in Ganon's Tower right now. Without the
Ooh.
hookshot.
Yeah, he can do that.
It wasn't to Turtle Rock Dark Bridge. It was a connector to Mimic Cave. Yeah, flippers were in fact on Helmasaur, meaning in order for it to be in logic, you need all 6 pod keys. All right,
We're getting
Goomba
a
is
hover.
going for the hover. He's gonna take the connector. He was going for the hover. Didn't quite get there. Yeah, one attempt is about what I'd do there. Especially since, the hook shot is the main thing I'm missing. Right? That and a key. Well, that and some fire rods and ice rods. A few items.
Yeah, just a couple of things.
Few items here and there. All right, Walther now heading back up to the top of the castle, which we can only assume is going to be against tower play. He's going to go for that big key, and he can definitely head on to the map room, which if it has the hook shot in it, that is some logic right there.
Desert Palace, okay, we got it.
All right, so now all we're missing is, items.
Several very important items.
And see, that sequence of bonks right there is exactly why this is in logic. All right, not actually necessary, but Walther is going to go ahead and go for Ganon's Tower. The rest of it, this is actually reasonable to do at this point. First of all, the bomb jump in the next room is also pretty free. Unless you do that.
Yeah, let's try that again. There we go.
That's why I didn't say completely free. Powder.
We got the powder.
And a full heart. So powder is the only thing of any real relevance in Rando Room.
Yeah, magic bat is 1 rupee.
Did we see that? I didn't notice it.
Goomba side. Goomba check magic bat.
Big chest of GT, just Garbo as well. Oh, Goomba going for another hover attempt there. Got a little further that time.
He's warming up. And Ice Armos.
And Walther is going to use his sword beams to take down the final Armos because he was just shy on arrows there. We have a heart piece, a small key to Hera, and a big 20. So, other places you might consider looking, I'm thinking like the big chest of Turtle Rock is a thing. Let's see. Could go for the actual pedestal.
We're still missing 1 pod small, correct?
Yes, that and the Thieves Town small. To make that a thing.
But that's not too much to be putting pedestal in logic.
Alright, so Walther's about to do Magic Bat and be disappointed. The 5th pod small key could be in the Harmless Hellway. I don't think either runner went for that. The 6th pod small key, that is.
And Walther got his lovely green rupee.
All right, Walther's taking a dark connector, Death Mountain Descent connector here. Goomba is finally going to find Eastern Palace. Catching up here.
Yeah, now that he has that nice free movement with both the flute and the boots, he is going to be making some good time now.
Ooh, and Walther's going to follow the Spectacle Rock Cave connector. I don't believe we saw this either. This could very easily connect to that Turtle Rock ledge. Oh, floating isle? Okay.
Yeah, we saw this route earlier. We do not need no maps.
Ain't got time for maps. Bugnet in the big chest of Turtle Rock.
That's what we really needed, folks. That's what we really needed.
Yeah, it looks like Walther's also going to go for the remaining chest in Turtle Rock, so that's going to cause him to spend a little time there as well.
And there's his second boomerang.
So, if I were Walther, probably the next thing I would do is go ahead and finish Desert.
Yeah, desert makes sense right now.
We have seen the front of Turtle Rock, but Walther hasn't. Not sure what Walther intends to do in this room.
Just go for a little roundabout. That quick swap.
Oh boy.
Did he forget?
Yeah. It happens. I mean, at this point, you've got all your keys. How in the world would you expect to not have any rods or hookshot? How did this happen?
It was a fun little detour. Maybe some thinking time.
Well, at least Walther's going to get our pedestal check. What do we have?
Uh-oh.
Wah, wah.
Triple boom. Oh.
All right, so Walther going to Mountain Cave through the back entrance. Getting up here. Yeah, this is going to be a play toward back at Desert, I believe. Maybe not. Oh yeah, he hasn't even checked Spiral Cave entrance.
Just a full heart.
Alright, so now back at Desert. which I think, pretty sure it was at the main Super Bunny Cave entrance. So yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, Goomba takes down Moth, and I believe that is going to tie us up in the crystal department momentarily. Meanwhile, Goomba is going to head to GT. He's going to probably do the same plays that Walther did a little while ago.
And there goes the land mollusk.
And we just get the fourth bottle. So we've still got the big chest of desert. We've got the big chest of swamp. We've got, in logic, only the Maiden's Chest in Thieves Town. Walther hadn't done Spike Cave yet, but...
Time for the pain with no gain.
Indeed.
I mean, he was running short on arrows, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, there's that. And the only reason I would spend the magic there is because you can more easily use the boots. It is possible to gain speed from the boots while taking damage there, but you have to have the timing down exactly right. I guess we never went through Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, here he goes. And a whole lot of nothing once again.
Oh, this is the connector to Turtle Rock Ledge. Okay. I didn't know that. No, it's not. It's East Desert. East Desert is a garbage entrance for garbage people.
It truly, truly is.
And Walther is going for the Swamp Palace Big Chest, ladies and gentlemen. Vanilla hookshot incoming.
Vanilla, vanilla, vanilla.
I think Ganon was at the Useless Fairy. Rip. And I guess, so Walther can go for the Desert Big Chest or the back of Thieves Town, really, and that's about it. Looks like Desert Big is on his mind.
Something's got to pay off eventually. They're still missing a few things here.
Oh my
Womp
goodness.
womp.
Well, hook shot on Maiden Chest, I guess, or Fire
The
Rod.
dream of this speed seed has died long ago.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The curse came back with full force.
Yeah, no PBs for either of these.
Right, Walther's going back for Pod now. Looks like he's going for the Harmless Hellway.
This could pay off. But I said that before, and it doesn't, so who knows?
Yes, Catfish has been checked. I believe it was just a blue rupee. Hobo was the big key for Ice Palace. Yeah, Harris Small was on behind Ice Armos, which was out of logic due to having neither the Fire Rod nor the... Okay, the
Thieves Town Small
key. So I guess we're going to have Pod Small in the Maiden Chest then? Like, I literally can't think of anything else that could be there and the seed not be broken. Well, okay, it could be the Fire Rod and then the Pod 6 is locked behind that. Or something along those lines. Are we sure there's no Super Metroid in this? I think so. I mean, we did go in the Lower Norfair entrance, and we didn't come out at GT. And by GT, I mean Gold Chorizo in that case.
Yeah, the other GT.
So multi-world entrance shuffle would be a thing, or like not multi-world. I mean combo rando entrance shuffle. Blah, blah, blah.
Cross keys combo.
Gross.
I think it sounds delicious.
I mean, it sounds like a good way to waste 8 hours on a day.
Much more productive than what I usually do, which is nap.
That is a good way to waste 8 hours on a day. Alright, Walther picks up the Mirror Shield.
That's really what we needed. No. This is the other 8 hours of my day.
There's the hook shot
shot!
in the stupid chest. Oh my goodness. Game, please. Walther is really giving us the clinic on how to full clear a seed.
Yeah, Uncle is still alive. We could do Uncle.
So I imagine Goomba didn't necessarily forget the key. He just decided not to get it because he didn't figure he'd get the hook shot in here. Oh, well, right, he got the key. There's no way he couldn't have gotten the key. Because he had the hook shot. Or because he doesn't have the hook shot. Alright, Walther heading back into Swamp. Goomba is heading into Ice Palace. Apparently he left something behind when he went in here the first time. Oh, he didn't have the big key. So he's gonna get the vanilla blue mail. The pedestal was 3 bombs.
Down. Diver down time.
Bombs. Piece of heart. Still no fire rod. The hookshot gave us access to Hookshot Cave. We've already checked most of the things that the hookshot unlocks in GT, but not all of them. There is that one. And of course the uncle, which is behind that one. It's the Uncle's tunnel, so 2 items there. Alright, looks like Goomba is probably heading for Thieves Town here, so gonna do some catch up. As Walther acquires the second Ice Palace key.
Oh, the trash key.
I mean, there's a lot of trash keys in this game. Let's be fair.
That is very, very true.
Like every Meyer key. Alright, Walther is taking his hookshot to Hookshot Cave. Hoping to get bailed out here.
I'm rooting for Agatu.
We have a small key to pod. That finally puts the flippers in logic. And Ether, which is the entrance medallion for Meyer, isn't it? No, it's Quake. Okay, so GT sounds like a plan. Oh, going for the Hera basement. This is also now in logic due to having the hook shot. Thieves Town Big Key. I completely forgot where that was. Blind's Hut. Okay, right. It was in the top of Blind's Hut.
Coffee break time.
I do like seeing the fire rod in Hera basement because that's, a good way to have an item locked behind, potentially itself. Nope, it's the Compass of Hera. Great. All right, so Walther is now, I think climbing GT's about it. I can't think of a blame thing.
Yeah, that's honestly all I can think of.
Walther hasn't seen the potion shop items, so he's going to go check that. Garbage seeds for garbage everything. It's a garbage seed worthy of our current garbage world.
This is the seed of 2020, folks.
Alrighty. Walther appears to be heading for the GT climb.
GT is all we got.
Now, go with me on this journey. So we're going to find Fire Rod up here, and then you have to go back to GT to get the Ice Rod on the right side.
What would be behind Big Bomb?
Nothing, because you got to have both Fire and Ice Rod to beat Trinex.
Oh, right. Yes.
Oh, yeah, the most gutsy play I can think of would be if you find the Fire Rod in the very first chest here, just mirror. Like, you find the Fire Rod in Moldorm's chest, mirror, go to right side. Alright, Goomba grabs the contents of Hookshot Cave and will likely be out of other locations to check soon. He's going to go for the basement here, it looks like. Once again, going for spin Landmo strats. Because still no fire rod or silvers. Yeah, also no silvers. What? What is this game?
They've cleared out so much, and yet there is still so much missing. I want that 20 heart seed.
I don't know if it's going to happen, as I think we may have seen a skipped heart piece, but don't hold me to it. We'll have to go find Synac and be like, Synac! Why you do this? I haven't really been keeping track of every single entrance.
I'm racking my brain to think of anything that might have been missed, but honestly, I can't think of anything other than Aga 2, and whatever might be behind Pyramid Fairy for just getting an item of some kind. It can't be
All right.
progression.
Ice Rod in the validation chest.
Okay, there we go.
So if you'd have done the Moldorm bounce earlier, you'd have been a little bit unhappy. Ooh, the triple. I mean, it was kind of a easily set up triple, but being followed up by a 0, so there you go.
Three, 0, 1, 2.
He Aga 2 hit for the cycle. And Fire Rod from Uncle, we are go
There
mode.
we go. Now maybe silver's in the other chest.
Walther does not care. And with as fearsome an opponent as he's going up against, I do not blame him.
The final duck ride.
Da-da-da-da. Wait. It's the final duck ride. All right. Into Laser Bridge for Walther as he heads to face off against Trinex.
You are very welcome, Steve.
And Goomba is going off to face against the Geometry Wizard. And Walther will now pick up his 7th crystal and go for the Ganon fight. Shovel!
And a shovel.
So we could take this seed out back and bury it, right?
I was going to say the exact same thing. No silvers to shoot it, though.
Shoutouts to 2,000 rupees exactly. Did the recent update fix the silver hint, or is it still borked? Cool. They are at the dig spot! Are you kidding me?
Good torch work there for Walther.
Ooh. A little bit of trouble there. Should be able to get one more swing in. And there it goes!
Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
And Walther is going to pull out the seed upset
Walther.
here. And it is over with an official time of 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 43 seconds. My good Lord. What have you done?
Well, that's certainly one way to describe this experience.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations!
Going to be real close as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I was definitely close to forfeiting a couple of times because I was so sure I had already lost.
That was
Yes.
such a sticky seed.
So the subtle thing that kind of put you ahead there was the fact that you checked Ether Tablet as soon as you got the book. That was it. Because your opponent did not get the flute until like 18 years later.
Yeah, I can see that happening for sure. Because it's like, did Goomba not get the book first time up Death Mountain?
Yeah, he left that connector for a while.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking.
And even
about,
after he got the book, he didn't check it right away.
Yeah, because it's kind of awkward to get up there again. I was definitely thinking about doing the same thing at first, but since we knew the book was up there, I just decided to check the connector. Or we didn't know book was up there, but we knew like book was locked behind the connector, so I did end up like checking the connectors. But like it's pretty scary other ways to check the connectors at that point, because you could get locked out and miss a lot of stuff on the mountain.
Yeah.
So you can definitely understand skipping the connectors at that point.
I think Goomba went ahead and I don't know if he did.
He did forfeit, yeah.
Forfeit, yeah. Because he was at the Ganon fight.
Yeah,
there
I think he said he missed the torch
finished.
glitch. They want to redo the fight or something like that.
Seems about right. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the sort of seed after which you don't really want to talk about it.
There's so much things that went wrong in the seed. It's pretty crazy. I heard Goomba did a lot of the same mistakes I did though, like climbing GT too early and less locating stuff.
Yeah, went into swamp
Yeah.
without the hook shot, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Shoutouts to the MVP, Ganon, employee of the month, because like second time I was gonna go check that what's it called, the normal bumper ledge. There's like a guard who threw a spear, and that spear like blocked my sign as I threw it.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
The Moblin there has had like some major props, like twice in a row, blocked your sign, caused you to die. Luckily you had that fairy the second time.
Yeah, his, I think the first time
That was quite the snipe.
Or did he do it twice? Because I thought I just missed it the first time. Second time, I knew he definitely blocked it.
Maybe you just missed the first time, but it looked like it might have happened both times.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, definitely he's the MVP of the seed.
And shout outs to Silvers being behind the last crystal.
I think that hint actually means it's at Uncle, so that it's the chest at Uncle.
Are you sure it's not the dig spot?
I think it says something else. It might be a dig spot, but I want to say, because the silver hints are a little bit different in entrance compared to.
I thought that the uncle's chest just meant near your uncle is what it said.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think at some point that hint meant Uncle Tunnel at least.
Maybe. But yeah, that was ridiculous. That seed. We were like, really? You're gonna have to go Thieves Town for the one chest that's in Logic?
Yeah, I skipped Thieves Town like the plague, because I was like, I've already double dipped so many stuff, so maybe my only chance is there's something in the big chest. Yeah, I was like hoping the big chest was gonna have something, so I waited until I got the small key.
And the reason I say that only the one chest was in Logic is because so much of this was actually locked behind all the pod small keys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really dumb.
Man, I was really angry when I went straight to Helmstar and it was pendant.
At least you got the flippers.
Yeah, I only had one key at that point. If I knew it was a pendant, I definitely would have just like gone to the back instead, get as many chests as I could, get like mitts early.
Well, I mean, at least you had the flute.
Yeah, that definitely must have helped a lot.
That was a
basically
big time save for you.
Yeah, I was able to just like as soon as I got it, honestly, just tie up so many loose ends, just by floating all over the map, which would have been quite awkward to route without the float.
Yeah, but now when you're looking at the end times, like end times were not that far apart.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been anybody's race.
You said looking at the end times, I'm like, is this seed actually a sign of the apocalypse? Is that what's happening here?
Dude, as soon as I got that fire on, all I could think was like, don't give me hope. There's no way this is gonna end well. I don't know. It was stressful. Even though I won, I'm still kind of angry at myself because I don't feel like I deserve to win this one.
I mean,
Nobody deserved to win this one.
yeah, no. The only person who actually won this is Sinak, for making the bot destroyed us all entirely.
I think Chat won this one.
Yeah, Chat probably won. That's probably correct.
Chat, the real MVP.
That was totally my fault. I have been rolling like on fire seeds this entire tournament, and then I rolled this one. And I've been like so psyched up about this match too. I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. I was like, I'm going to roll a great seed. It's going to be great. And then that happened.
It started looking that way. Like at the beginning, we're just like, what? You're not allowed to have the mirror in the first chest. That's not allowed.
Yeah, I mean, the start was pretty sick. Like, we got mirror, we got like normal Dark World access really quickly with like Glove Hammer and then Moon Pearl. Although Goomba said he got that Moon Pearl pretty late.
He waited on going into desert for a bit.
It was really speedy at first, and we were all joking that this was going to be too easy of a seed, and we jinxed it.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Welcome.
I had one of those seeds this morning, so I didn't think that all Zelda happening twice would occur.
You were a mere 2 heart pieces away from the full 20 here.
Yeah, I think I skipped one of them on purpose for sure, early on.
With a 191 collection rate.
The thing is, I know Goomba is really good at this, which is why I did some plays that I probably normally would not do, like climb Gannis Tower early, double, like, jump into dungeons that I couldn't clear even though I had, like, better options. Because I was hoping that I could get something to give me an edge, but...
So when Goomba climbed the Gannis Tower, we saw that he was contemplating doing, like, the Moldorm bounce thing to try to get across.
Yeah,
that would have been awful because he would have lost. He wouldn't have been able to get the ice rod.
Oh yeah, right. You can't kill Moldorm by doing that. Of course, makes sense. Yeah, that would have been pretty disgusting, to be honest. Yeah, cool seed.
Yeah, and we have a lot more coming up. So unfortunately, this is the end of the road for Goomba. But Walter, we will be seeing you very soon again. And I do think this is our last race that we have today for the Cross Keys, but there are definitely more tomorrow.
Awesome. GG's to the comms and the restream team tracking and all of that. Thanks for making these restreams possible.
It is definitely our pleasure. We get to really see a lot of top tier runners here in this tournament. Like, these times coming in for this tournament are just ridiculous. Like, again, with a 191 collection rate and virtually every single spot checked in the game, you still finished at 232. Like, that's crazy, considering what the times were, you know, last tournament. So getting to see, you know, Cross Keys done so beautifully is really, really fun.
This has been such a huge race. This is something that I don't think I will see something that's on this level for the rest of this tournament.
Certainly full of a lot of surprises. It did kind of give you a break at the end, though, giving the ice rod in the validation chest instead of the fire rod, because that would have just opened up the front of T-Rock and all that. So, I mean, it could have been worse. So, at least it wasn't.
I was waiting for somebody to find the fire rod in Moldorm's chest and then just mirror to do right side GT.
Oh, I don't think I would do that. Cause
Nobody would have done that. Especially since you could, like, after doing Uncle, you'd just be at the pyramid. You could just go back into GT.
Yeah. Although I was thinking about, if I did get the fire rod, maybe doing right side of Ganon's tower before Uncle. But I probably would not have ended up doing that, because I figured Goomba probably sequence broke that with the lamp. And that's a bone jump I should have learned a long time ago.
Well, nobody went there because that's really hard to do without the boots. And both players were in there well before the boots happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just a gross. I just hate that bomb jump with the lamp so much. I hate it.
I mean, I think it's theoretically possible without the boots, but I'd have to TAS it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, I'm stumped. I don't have much left to say, I don't think. GG's to everyone.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, definitely GG's to both our runners, and be sure to tune in for more of our continuing coverage of the Cross Key Tournament. You are bound to see some pretty amazing races. We're going to head on over to Go Mode Podcast, who has a tournament going on, it looks like. I'm not really sure, but it looks really fun. So we will head over to there and say hi to them.
Yeah, definitely shout outs to GMP. Their mentor tourney they're having right now is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the seeds are less confusing.
So we will see you all very, very soon here on Zelda Speedruns. Have a good night.
Bye.